Hi students, this is our lesson 150 and in this class we will continue learning the tenses of the modo subjuntivo or subjunctive mode, right? In this class, which is our fifth class within the subject of within the topic of modo subjuntivo, we will see the pretérito pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo. Right? It's a long word and it's an intimidating word. Too long, right? Pluscuamperfecto. Okay, it's one of the several past tenses we have in Spanish, right? And in the modo indicativo, we do have a pretérito pluscuamperfecto, and we also have one of the modo subjuntivo. Okay. So before beginning with modo subjuntivo, we learned that I think it was about 16 different conjugation tenses of the modo indicativo, right? The modo indicativo is the one. It's the group of conjugations we actually use for speaking daily, okay, and writing. It's all the most basic tenses. Which is the main characteristic of the modo indicativo, that there is always a declaration, right? It's a declarative tense or conjugation. So we can say then that the main characteristic of modo indicativo is that there is always a declaration, or there is declaring something, yes? In the modo subjuntivo, that is suspended actually, and we are not really declaring anything factual or anything specific, okay? It's all more hypothetic. So we can say then that modo subjuntivo is used to express non-real situations, like for example, expected or desired situations, or possible or hypothetical scenarios, right? So mainly that's when we use the modo subjuntivo. These 6 tenses you see here in this page are the 6 different tenses we have in modo subjuntivo. Today we will do the pluscuamperfecto or antepretérito del subjuntivo. So as usual, we will begin with the first group of Spanish verbs, right? The group of verbs that end with letters A and R. We'll choose the verb hablar, or to speak, as an example. Oops, here. So here's an example. Look at this sentence to see when it is that we do use the pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo. Yo le hubiera hablado si la hubiese visto. Again. Yo le hubiera hablado si la hubiese visto. I would have spoken to her if I had seen her. So here, yo le hubiera hablado means I would have spoken to her. Si means if. La hubiese visto means I had seen her, right? So, the pretérito pluscuamperfecto del modo subjuntivo is a tense that requires the use of an auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb that we use is the verb haber, right? So here, so we know that we will be using that verb haber before the whatever it is the verb we want to conjugate. So where do we have here the pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo? Twice actually. Hubiera hablado and hubiese visto, right? Those two are the tense pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo, right? And the subject here, or the pronoun, is yo, or I, okay? So, of course, whenever we have an auxiliary verb involved, it's only the auxiliary verb that goes conjugated, right? So here, hubiera and hubiese are conjugated here, right? However, you can see the ending is different, and that is because there are 2 different conjugations of the pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo. depending on what part of the sentence is involved. So look at this here. Yo le hubiera hablado. This is what would happen si la hubiese visto, and that is the condition, okay? So hubiese visto is the condition. Hubiera hablado is what would happen if the condition is met, right? For example, if I had seen her, that is the condition, the if condition, yes? So what would happen if the condition is met? I would have spoken to her, okay? So that's the same thing I'm telling you in the sentence in Spanish. So we are using the pretérito pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo, but you see we have two different conjugations. We will see that soon. Now look at this here. This sentence is the same sentence we just saw, but we just inverted the order of both statements, okay? Si yo la hubiese visto, le habría hablado. So here we put at the beginning the if part, and later we put what would happen if the condition is met, okay? Si yo la hubiese visto, le habría hablado. I would have, sorry, in English it should be, if I had seen her, I would have spoken to her, right? The si is the if condition, right? So, si yo la hubiese visto, le habría hablado. If I had seen her, I would have spoken to her. So the order is not the same in the English translation there, okay? So you can see, let me repeat again. Inside the if clause, we use the hubiese visto, right? And what would happen if the condition is met, we use the hubiera hablado, right? Now you'll see. This here is the conjugation in pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo. We are conjugating now the verb hablar, or to speak. You can see that we have two conjugations, and these are the two conjugations that I showed you a moment before. Hubiera and hubiese, right? So let's begin with I. Yo hubiera hablado, or yo hubiese hablado, right? Tú hubieras hablado, or tú hubieses hablado. Él hubiera hablado, or él hubiese hablado. Nosotros hubiéramos hablado, or nosotros hubiésemos hablado. Vosotros hubierais hablado, or vosotros hubieseis hablado. Ustedes hubieran hablado, or ustedes hubiesen hablado. And ellos hubieran hablado, or ellos hubiesen hablado. So you see, these two are the same tense. Yo hubiera hablado is pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo, and yo hubiese hablado is also pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo, only that each one is used in a different part of the sentence, okay? Let's see this again. Yo le hubiera hablado, right? Si la hubiese visto. I would have spoken to her if I had seen her, okay? Let's go to the second group of Spanish verbs, the verbs that end with er. Verb comer, or to eat, is a perfect example of a regular verb of this group. Let's see this example. Yo lo hubiera comido si hubiese estado en buen estado. Yo lo hubiera comido si hubiese estado en buen estado. I would have eaten it if it had been in good state, or in good shape, or if it had been edible, okay? So again, here we have the pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo in hubiera comido and hubiese estado. Had eaten and had been, okay?